donation, and we're looking at Bitcoin here. Now, the last video that we made, the video was based on understanding your RSIs and following the overall uptrends or downtrends, right? So the very first video that we looked into, if you go over to your YouTube channel, YouTube VC Crypto Nation, you'll find a video over there. All you have to do is go to the live videos, and on the live videos here, buying a coin with Phantom Wallet. But here's 2024, what do we have here? Simple lessons of trading course, video 1, RSI uptrend trading, right? So this video here was simply all about understanding the uptrends inside of how to tell when Bitcoin's going up or down. And it was very, very easy. And we're going to take a look here, continued on with this. And the very first thing is this: in order to go long, right? If you're going to trade, guys, make sure that you understand if you're going to trade long, you have to have momentum and volume that trade in order to take advantage of those scenarios. Now, especially with Bitcoin, you know, these moves that happen, you guys can see here we have a buy signal, right? This is a buy signal for us, and that trade is equal to a somewhere around about a 2% move, right? So what you have to understand is 2% is not a lot when you have a lot of money, you know, trying to go up or down. But when you use a thing called leverage or futures, then we can turn this 1% times 50. So this could be a 50% move or a 30% move. And that's really what we take advantage of. So if you've seen my other videos, or go watch my X account, you can see I put on live trades when I'm trading. You guys can go ahead and take a look at the trades that I already do. And you can see where we're making, you know, $300-400 a trade. And the goal is to make, you know, $300-400 10 times in a week, and, you know, do whatever you want. So if you, I don't know if you guys can make 3,000 a week, if that'll make you happy, but it's a very simple thing that we do. So the very first thing here is understanding the uptrends, right? And this right here is working on what we call the RSIs, the daily RSI. So before we get into anything, the first thing you have to understand is on your RSI, we already talked about the buy zones, which we can see here is in the other video. And you can see that it is focused on when the daily RSI breaks the 20 line, which is right here, and then starts to head up, and then the 4-hour trend is also moving up, and this is our buy zone. So that's the buy zone we like to take advantage of. That's good for a 6% move on Bitcoin. And then we can capitalize on that with a 30x, which would give us about 150% on our money inside this zone. Now, obviously, right now, if you guys have been watching Bitcoin, you're going to realize that Bitcoin has gone down, and it's going down because there's a downtrend in the market, right? So if you haven't learned how to take profit or to protect your profits, this is a very simple system for you to learn. So hit the likes on here, guys. Hit the likes on here. Don't forget to share the live. I'm going to show you how to avoid losing money in the big market moves, and it's real simple. This is a free indicator. This is called the stochastic RSI. You can put it on TradingView, which is what we're using, and all it is that when your stochastic RSI has broken down and it gets below these levels here of like 80 and starts to move down, that's a downward trend, and you need to protect your profits. As you can see here, there was a huge loss in the market, and we're suffering the same thing here today, dealing with where we're at in this current market, right? So in the current market, Bitcoin is, everyone's waiting for the Bitcoin bounce, right? And the one thing that has to happen, guys, so how many people own Bitcoin? How many people buy Bitcoin? Now, guys, don't forget, this is free information for you. This is just to protect your profits. If you're a crypto holder or a stock holder, it doesn't really matter. You can use the stochastic RSI to save your profits and keep you in there. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Thanks for joining, Donald, Mush. All right, so this is for all the people that want to learn some basic things. This is free information, all educational, and it's very easy to understand. So right here, you can notice that this is the beginning of this move. I'm going to take a yellow line here. I'm going to put it inside this section. And really what this is going to signify is the downward trend to Bitcoin. More creators want to co-host. If you guys do any trades or anything like that and you want to jump on, KK, what's up, man? Alvaro. So this is just to show you guys that right now Bitcoin is in a downtrend and currently the market has not recovered. Now what this video is going to focus on is something that nobody ever teaches you, right? And this is called volume, right? And there's a lesson that I teach called volume is king, right? Volume is king is basically the only thing you really have to understand when it comes to money. And it's a very simple philosophy. If there's no extra money going into a market, meaning volume or price action, then it's impossible for your coin or investment that you are into to go up in value. So right now you can see that this shows that there is a loss of volume and price action, and this is what causes Bitcoin to come down. Now the thing is that Bitcoin cannot bounce or go up until the price action returns. So right now we don't have anything in here that's worth any value. Bitcoin is hovering down, and not until Bitcoin crosses this 20 line, which is going to be in this area here, will we have a substantial amount of what we call volume that we can trust that longs are going to be a little more safer. So if you're going to make money trading, guys, understand that you got to be in a position where you're not taking risk and you're trading with the most sensible or the most logical positions to make money, right? You don't want to take risks. So currently there is no Bitcoin long here. There's no bounce here, and it's still in its bottom zone, right? So the daily says right now we're in a downtrend. Okay, so now let's move over to our 4 hour, because the 4 hour is going to basically allow us to take advantage of what we call bounces, and we can see the stable of the market. So right here, this yellow line here, I'm going to put a box in here, and this yellow box is going to represent the downward trend of what we're dealing with right now in Bitcoin, right? And that's simply going to be this box here and all the way to where it's at today. I'm going to turn it yellow just so that you guys know that this is where the downward trend started for Bitcoin, and you guys can see easily that obviously that is the case. Now I use indicators and I have a trading system that's very easy. You guys see here where it says sell? You guys see that little sell button right there? So this sell button, let me see here. So this sell button here, there you go, that should lighten in here. So that sell button for you is going to just let you know that at this particular time, see how that little button right there, that little red button, this is a sell zone for me, right? So this is where I take profits and I keep my profits in my pockets, right? So this allows me not to lose money in Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency that I'm trading until the market resets itself, right? Now during this time period, you can see where Bitcoin comes down, loses value. Now there are bounces in everything that happens in any type of trade, and those bounces are going to be more included on the 4 hour RSIs, where they start to come off the bottom, and you can see they come off the bottom, go up, go off the bottom, go up. These are just spurts of people who have limit orders or people guessing, people who are guessing at the market, you know, trying to figure out when the market's going to turn around and buying what we call consolidation zones or FOMO zones, right? And these are just zones that people are, you know, trying to, you know, anticipate the bounce, right? So support zones, right? So for instance, these are support zones. So this is a 3 hour support zone, a 2 hour support zone, a 4 hour support zone. And as you can see, it broke right through all those support zones. So support zones actually mean nothing. They're just targets for people to kind of estimate the percentages of when a coin will return to its, you know, a percent that's on average, a buying area, et cetera, et cetera. But as you can see, none of those support zones mattered. They all broke through, and to avoid being caught on buying in these areas here, you guys probably had a lot of people after this big dip, they probably bought in this area here. This is called consolidation, and they didn't realize that that consolidation wasn't going to hold, and then it bounced again because people thought right here would be a lower position to buy, and then it pushed up, and then they sold again, right? And then it took a bigger dump because they realized if you didn't understand trading, On the daily, which is the original thing I showed you, true traders and real investors, professionals like, what we do, is you can see right here that we know that there is no volume for Bitcoin to bounce. So the only thing to do is to take advantage of Bitcoin and its volume, and we don't get caught in buying Bitcoin in these areas here, long-term holds, because this is not a bottom. It has to get above this line here. So this perforated line, or the 20 line, is where Bitcoin has enough volume to say that it's actually like, building momentum. Currently, there's no momentum on that situation, and that's where Bitcoin will, doesn't have an opportunity to really like expand up until we have what we call volume, right? It's very simple. There's no money if no one's buying Bitcoin, then Bitcoin cannot go up in price, right? No matter what you have, stock, Tesla, whatever you're doing, right? Doesn't matter. If they're not buying it, it doesn't go up in value. So now the most important thing for us is to start to look at the bounces on the 4-hour time frames, so that we can see where the bounces are going to come in, and see if we can take advantage of certain areas that have opportunities to, make money on, right? So let's see here. And these are some of the areas here, right? So let me spread this out. And we can see that when the 4-hour RSI comes off the bottom, this is the time frame we're looking at. You can see that they were getting these movements to the top here. And I can delete all these things here because they don't mean anything. And as you can see here, there's all types of support lines, all types of, buy areas. But these buy areas come when there's volume in the market, right? So the relative strength index is a free indicator that you can use to determine when there's at least going to be some type of volume or stabilization, or what they call consolidation inside the market, where the possibility of a movement to the upside, like right here, is going to occur. This particular upside right here, once the 4-hour breaks up, you can see off the bottom there, once it breaks up past, heading past the 20, you can see that we did get a nice little 3% move, right? Now what's key to that is that we can take advantage of that 3% move with a 20 to 30x, meaning that 3% is actually worth 90% gains. And you know that what we teach is very simple. We teach a simple philosophy of making 30% gains on $1,000, which is $300, and doing that 10 times a month, right? Which is $3,000 a month for a beginner trader, right? And when you do that, and you realize that you do that $3,000, that ends up being 36 and possibly up to $50,000 a year as a beginner trader. Now the thing about that is it lowers the entire risk of what you're doing, and it keeps things very simple, right? 10 trades a month is a lot better than trying to do 10 trades a day, right? Because trades cost money. There are fees to trade, and then when you lose fees plus what you've lost, and a lot of times you're rushing a trade that doesn't make sense. And 4-hour bounces and RSI bounces do take time to come about. For instance, this downtrend was August 23rd, and the uptrend didn't start until August 28th, right? So there was a 5-day period where there was no trade on Bitcoin. So if you were doing Bitcoin long, there was 5 days where you would not have done a Bitcoin long until the 4-hour came off the ground and started to solidify a possibility of a long position in this little section here, right? Which allowed you to get a 3% move. And like I said, we normally do 30 to 50x. That would be 150% or 100% gains here. So this could have easily been $1,000 trade in a week, right? So that's the whole goal, is to make sure that you're trading and understanding that volume is king. Volume is king. Okay, I have an entire ebook on it. I have a book on it. Like, volume is king. This is what, over the last decade, I've taught all the traders that I've ever trained, took my classes or my courses, is they understand that volume is king. And volume is king because if there's no money into your project, then you cannot make any money, right? It's very simple. And welcome in, guys. Welcome in. And hit the like buttons, guys. Don't forget to hit the like so we can get more shares in here. This is going to be a quick lesson here, and then we'll move on. So now that we see that these spikes happen on the 4 hour, you can see that once the 4 hour resets and we get to a position here, and I'm going to show you another indicator. We have these moons here, right? These are called price action moons. And when these price action moons, see these alerts right here that pop up, there's alerts that go up for emails. But when we have a RSI value move with a price action moon, then we know that this is a trade that we can make, and we get an email letting us know that we can get into this trade. Now once that trade happened, the very next trade is going to be the same thing. It's going to be a green moon with the 4 hour RSI on its way up. And then you go over here, you can see that happens right here again. The same scenario happens again. The RSI goes down, breaks above the 20. There's a 4 hour green moon. Here's an entry. And the best part is this trade once again produces another 2.5 to 3% move. With the proper trading and understanding in futures, times even a minimum 30x, right, is going to be a 60 to 70% gain, maybe even 80. Now remember, what we're looking for is consistency of 30 to 50% gains. So those two trades would have easily got us where we wanted. So moving forward, RSI pulls down on the 4 hour. It starts to break up. There's the moon. And wouldn't you know, once again, this strategy that we use to make money produces another winning trade. That's about 3%. That would be this section right here. And you can see that in this section right here, we got the same results as last time, right? Not hard to understand what we're doing. The RSI is coming off the bottom. Price action moon is showing up when it's supposed to. We also have an extra indicator here with a buy signal that allows us to what we call confirmation of a trade. And then we take advantage of this particular wick, right? This is a 4 hour wick. We're getting in on this candle here. This candle would have produced a solid 2% move, right? Now remember, we're doing a 30x to a 50x. This is Bitcoin. It's a little bit bigger. Normally on here we do 100x leverage or 50x leverage. So either way, this on a 50x leverage, this would be a 100% gain. So $1,000 would have became another $1,000, right? Very simple. But this is what I wanted to go over was when you understand a strategy, when you have a system, when you have something that allows you to take advantage. So here you can see we have a Bitcoin long. We're doing 122x leverage on it, and we're in this little move here. We're doing a small trade of a 146 trade. We're up $62 or 42% over here. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to hit our 30 to 50% gains and take our profits, right? So that's another successful trade that we had in there that we're building on and creating. And let me get rid of this because I don't need it. But this is all possible because there's a strategy and a system, right? So when you have a system and a strategy for trading, it's consistency in what you do, right? I'm not guessing at what Bitcoin is going to do. I'm not wondering what Bitcoin is going to do. I have a very systematic structure here, all mathematical, based on volume, price action, and pretty much it. So if there's volume, there means there's money. If there's price action, there means there's enough money to move a coin. These two indicators together allow me to get into these trades early. And I even have buy signals that allowed me to basically notify me that I'm in the correct areas. And then I take advantage of very simple moves. Now, the most important thing to understand here is that on the overall, what we call the trading zone or the trend, keep in mind, like I said in the very beginning of this video, is that Bitcoin is still bottomed out on the daily RSI. And what that means is that on the daily RSI, there is not an uptrend in Bitcoin yet, which means the longs that I'm getting into, I cannot hold and wish for them to go to the moon or wish for them to go to even higher. There is a limit to the amount of money that I can make on my trades because volume dictates how much money there is into a trade. And if there's not enough volume, then your trade doesn't only has enough to make so much money. Stop holding trades thinking they're just going to keep going up. They do not keep going up. This is why the system and structure that I teach is very fundamental to continuously win 30 to 50% trades and take profits. Because the only way you can get rich is to collect the money that you make, right? You can see a trade go up to $10,000 and have it come all the way back down to 1,000. And you say, well, I made $1,000. No, you lost $8,000, right? You need to learn that profits are king and volume is king. And you have to work with the volume. And when the volume is over, you need to understand it doesn't matter how much you hope. It doesn't matter how much you wish. It doesn't matter how much you think, right? Once the volume is gone, it's over. So if that makes sense, man, tap the screen, and understand that that's what we're working on here is this simplicity of mathematics. This is not an emotional game. You need to learn to check your emotions at the door. We don't trade with emotions. We trade with structures and systems, right? Because people fail. Systems don't. People fail. Systems don't. So when you join the Discord, right, and all you have to do is go over to my main TikTok account. And the main TikTok account is very simple, VC Crypto Nation Live, right? Nation Live, VC Crypto Nation Live. And pull up VC Crypto Nation Live, just like that. And you will see over here, it's a very simple process. And here we have our, 9,100 followers. And there is a link tree here with VC Crypto Nation. So if you go to that link tree right there, VC Crypto Nation, that has access to your free Discord, right? Discord's in here. It's the fourth one down. Free Discord. If you want to know where I get my charts, there's a Join Trading View link on there. Get free Trading View. You don't need to pay for it. And if you're in the U.S. or across out there in the world, you use crypto or trade crypto, there is a crypto exchange that you can log into. And the best part is when you join that exchange inside the Discord, we have a thing called free, right? And the free Discord has how to get in. Any members of BitNext that used our VIP gets a free chat. And inside that free chat is information on trades, and this is where you can find lessons, right? And then we have trades that we go out and do here. And you can see here that people that are putting their trades in here, winning trades, 30% is our goal. Here's a nice trade, 73%. But this is where you get all the information, and it's absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything to be in the Discord. And then the lessons tab is where you can find all the YouTube videos on the lessons that we're teaching so that you can go back. And like I said, this is absolutely free. You don't have to pay for anything there. You just have to be part of the VIP with the exchange. But just go to get in. It explains how to get in for free and take advantage of the trades that we're teaching, right? So back to the chart. So that system right there, that is a system that we can use over and over. It's a 4-hour RSI bottoming out, headed up with a price action moon indication. And we take advantage of that move every time. And we can get 2 to 4% on Bitcoin. Very simple. But currently Bitcoin, like I said, doesn't have an uptrend right now. So the downtrends are more powerful. And what that means for someone who's a little better at trading like myself, we teach and educate people that once you take profits on the uptrend and it starts to come down, we then get into short positions, because in a downtrend, it is easier for things to go down than they are up. So there's possibilities of making money on the up and the down, and you can learn how to, capitalize in between those longs and get an extra 3% move is like right in here. There's a 3% move, which in reality with a 50x would be about 150% gains, which would be another, on $1,000, it'd be another $1,500. So you can learn how to make money on the up and the down of a market, so that way you're never out of the market and you're taking advantage. And all you have to do is find time to do 10 trades a month, right? 2 trades a week, 3 trades a week, nothing super special, and you can get yourself in this position. But what I wanted to, touch base here is that if you were getting into Bitcoin or trying to buy any of these scenarios where Bitcoin had bottomed out over and over, and all the people were like, there's a support line, and then it broke, and there's the best support line, and then it broke, and then there's another support line, and then it's 786, and then it broke, and then it broke. Support lines mean nothing, okay? Because once people start selling, they panic, and they panic sell. And then panic sells can cause all this, what we call a rainfall technique, which is what happened to Bitcoin, right? So stop believing in the hype and learn a trading system that's easy to learn. Knowing that we are in a downward trend here, with the same lesson that I taught, last week, would have taught you not to go long on Bitcoin. So this entire time when all your friends were buying Bitcoin since way back here, thinking that Bitcoin was going to go up, you could have sold right here, and you could have protected your profits. And this is about a 20% drop on Bitcoin. And guess what? You wouldn't have lost any of that money if you would have went and got the free lesson on Bitcoin. It was free. I taught it last week. And the reason why I taught it is so you understood not to get Bitcoin. And inside my free Discord, you can see here that I told everybody, right here. So 9/5, right? 9/5/2024. What did I write? Bitcoin is unstable, and I made a video exactly about this spot. Go watch it. Daily needs to go above 20, and 4-hour needs to reset before any longs worth holding. Shorts are in now. Right? You see that? Shorts are in now. So basically, I haven't said that there's any longs yet in Bitcoin. I haven't put any information that Bitcoin has gone long yet. And you can see here, if you go back to that date, what was this? This was a whole downward trend here when everybody was thinking back on the 5th right here when Bitcoin was pumping. You probably thought you were the smartest trader in the world because you were like, oh, I got the bottom of Bitcoin. And on September 5th right here when it was bouncing, most people thought Bitcoin was going to recover and head up. And we took advantage of that move right there, made money. And then I told everyone on the 5th that this is Bitcoin down, right? And you can see from this level here, what did Bitcoin do? Came crashing down, right? Right. This is not that hard. You don't have to be a genius to be a trader. You just have to understand a very systematic and fundamental trading system, right? Which is, if there's no money to go into Bitcoin, then Bitcoin cannot go up. It doesn't matter how much you wish it does. Doesn't matter how much you think it will. Doesn't matter how much you believe in it, right? If there's no volume to go up, then Bitcoin, guess what? Doesn't go up, right? Now look at this last move here. This is the system that we teach. What do we teach? 4-hour RSI, right? We teach a 4-hour RSI coming off the bottom, heading up, and then once it's coming up off the bottom, we're looking for a green moon. And we're looking for that profit. You can see here on this last move, the RSI came off the bottom. But you can see here that Bitcoin didn't get a green moon here, went up, and now it's consolidating and it's starting to go sideways. So it didn't have that big pump, right? But since the green moon, the price action moon came and the 4-hour RSI was already at the top, we don't take this trade because the RSI is already at the top. So now we have to wait for the RSI to actually go back down and come back up. Right? Because that's how we make money. Top to bottom. Or in this case, bottom to top. But since it's already at the top and then we finally get a moon, we don't chase it because that's a unstable type moon. which means there's got to be some type of downside to that before it resets itself, meaning it's got to pull back on the RSI. And then once the RSI reverses up, if the moon is still there, then you will have volume, but more importantly, you would have price action, which is the moon doing what it's supposed to do when it's supposed to do, right? So that's something that you have to understand. So once again, the system that we use is the RSI coming off the bottom, the moon showing us the bigger move. Now the best part is this: if you were just doing the RSI technique that I just taught you, when the RSI on the 4-hour breaks to 20, that was in this candle here, even with no price action, what you need to really do well, this still moved 1.4%, right? If you had a 50x on this, like you're supposed to, that's 50% gains. So if you had $1,000 in there, that would have been $500 in there, right? So you still can make $500 even on a terrible trade if you understand that trading all comes down to patience and understanding. That's it. So I hope that makes sense, and we're going to go more into this, but that's what I want to teach you in these beginning videos, is that understanding that you need to trade properly. Stop wasting money. You have to remove risk, right? You don't want to be trading longs when longs are not happening. There's no trend. You want to be trading the shorts, and if you're trading the bounces and the jumps on a downward trend, then you need to understand when to take advantage of the bounce and which bounce is right. And you also need to understand that it's only going to go for 1 to 3%, and you have to close the trade and have a target of profits, right, of 50 to 100% gains. And once that hits, you just take it and walk away. Do not hold the trade and think it's just going to keep going up because it's magically, you found the bottom, right? It just doesn't work like that, right? And the one time it does, if it keeps going up, it'll have a pullback later on that you can then rebuy in and then continue on. So you can't lose money by trading responsibly, guys. So that's the one thing in this video I want you guys to understand. You have to trade responsibly and don't take risk and avoid risk, and take simpler moves that make more money. It is that easy to do, right? So volume is king. If there's no volume in price action, then the price of the coin doesn't matter. It'll actually go down as things happen. So hope that's a very simple understanding, using the 4-hour RSI for the bounces while waiting for the daily RSI to actually start to head up and create a new upward trend. But so far right now, Bitcoin is still in a downtrend. So all the little bounces off the 4-hour RSI are going to be 1 to 2%, and you need to take those profits, because those profits will disappear and come back down because it isn't stable yet. Hope this helps you out, guys. This is video 2 of basic training. It will be put in here, 2024 new trading course, video 1, RSI uptrend trading zones. This will be video 2, understanding volume and price action in order to take advantage of the longs and knowing when to take profits and execute properly, so that way you grow. Very simple, and that'll keep you where you need to be. There are some coins out there that I always throw in an extra coin here for you. This thing is on Pump Fund. It's called Faith. It's called Faith Token. You can see right here. And this is the coin that we're following right now. And you can see right here it's doing really well. So you might want to do your Dior. Go take a look at that. But if you have faith, might be a good option for you. And that's really what the market's all about. So good luck. God bless, guys. We'll make another video here. I just wanted to show you guys that understanding volume is king. If there's no volume, there's no money. Stop hoping for money to magically pop in, right? And we're going to go through these. As the next video will be, finding coins that are better for trading and getting into these zones and learning how to actually make money on these 1% to 2% to 3% moves by using futures, right? So that'll be the video that we go into. So other than that, good luck. God bless, guys. Have a great day. It's your boy VC. If you have any questions, send me a Gmail at VCCryptoNation, VCCryptoNation@gmail. Once again, that's VCCryptoNation@gmail. Send me any questions you want. If you're in the United States or anywhere, send that email. But guys, get into the free Discord. If you have any questions, join the Discord. There's a free chat here. You can ask me anything in here. Free trades and free lessons. All you got to do is hit the get in sign, follow the instructions in the get in, and that is it, man. If you need time to find the instructions, what you need to do here is go over to the main TikTok, which is VC Crypto Nation Live. That's the main TikTok, VC Crypto Nation Live. And the link tree that is established with that is linktr.ee/VC Crypto Nation. And once you click that link, you will see all the options you have to sign up for the free trading view. Get yourself in Discord or find a Gmail to send it to us. Other than that, good luck. God bless, guys. We're trying to keep these lessons simple and safe for you. This is not hard, but you need to understand the basics. All right, guys. We'll be making more videos this week and going live more often as we start to get through September. You guys have a good